everyone, and welcome to the fourth episode of the Howlpod. So I'm here with Deathswolf again,
Hey guys.
and if you've forgotten or you're new, I'm Arashi. So today we're going to be talking about advertising and YouTubers, and how YouTubers should be handling advertising because they're just very influential people, especially the ones with millions of subscribers. And I thought we could start with some of the controversies that have happened so far. So, Deathswolf, do you have anything controversial?
I did notice in one of the videos, one of the YouTubers I watched was talking about how he got a strike because he mentioned something by accident and he got a strike on his channel because of it. I noticed also when I was doing some research on it that YouTube is very strict. Like if you have over 10 seconds of like a game trailer or something of the such, you will get flagged by ContentID. And there more than likely have been thousands of YouTubers who have gone down because of this.
Yeah, I've definitely heard of instances where content ID has been abused. So, say a YouTuber criticizes a game, then uh, the game company will claim for copyright on that video to get it taken down. And for the YouTuber to get it back up, it's this massive, massive battle. And in the meantime, while I'm not sure if this is still the case, but while the video has been claimed, any revenue from that video that would go to the YouTuber instead goes to the people who have claimed it, even if they have no proof that it's their thing or that there's a legitimate claim.
I was looking, there were many instances where this has happened. Like there were random people who claimed certain things on other people's videos. Like there was one I was reading, there was a content manager on YouTube who claimed the sounds of nature. So there was this guy who did like gardening videos, and he got every one of his videos flagged because of that.
Yeah, that's sort of comical. And it reminds me of I heard that there was one guy who got like his videos taken down by himself. So like he had a company that he was like associated with and like who kind of like an agent, and they
Yeah.
saw his videos with his music, and because it's automated process and it's just like actual people don't see it, it got claimed for copyright and it got taken down, and in reality like it was basically him claiming on himself, so it was just a big mess.
Oh, I bet that was fun.
Yeah.
There, there's a way to avoid that too. There's like this thing, like Minecraft servers have a whitelist where certain people can get on. Um, Content managers apparently have the same thing now where they can like give certain usernames and they'll get put into this whitelist and they won't get flagged at all for it. Like if you get permissions from a game company to do a video on a game, they can add you into their whitelist and that you won't get flagged for it.
Yeah. I have a question for you. Do you think, games companies can restrict like who puts YouTube footage up of their games? Because a lot of Let's Players obviously do it without permission, like if you think about Minecraft, for instance.
I think they can, especially companies like Nintendo, who like nobody can play their games without getting flagged. They flag really hard, so like if you've noticed, almost no YouTuber will do Nintendo games because they get flagged. So there's definitely ways of them restricting it, though not necessarily directly. That way, YouTubers don't get flagged; they won't play the game.
Yeah.
And it's not just Nintendo that does this. There are multiple game companies that do this. But there was an article that I read that there are like more game companies that are being more lenient on Let's Players and YouTubers the like, and they're saying, oh well, you can play this game, but the next time you play a game made by us, ask us first, or you're gonna get flagged. Or like the YouTuber I mentioned earlier, when he was flagged by or not flagged, but he got a strike because of a game he played. He actually contacted the game company and they took down their strike and it was like, okay, if I take my video down, you'll take down your strike, because what it was basically a kid game, but he like swears a lot. He well, not a lot, but he swears in his videos, and so he got flagged because it was inappropriate for a child's game.
That makes sense, I
That
guess.
that was completely off topic.
But yeah, what you're saying, that like if it kind of makes sense if it is a kid's game, but on the other hand, you have to look at it. There are going to be some adults who play games that are supposedly for kids.
Yeah.
So, you don't want to deprive them of content, but I completely understand why you'd want to take them down if you're having like 5-year-olds, like, oh, let's go on YouTube. Not that they should if they're 5, but they go on YouTube and they try to find like a trailer of Spyro or something. And
Because 5-year-olds play Spyro.
I played Spyro when I was 10. That's only double the age. Anyway, okay, so let's upgrade it to 10-year-olds, and they're trying to find a trailer, and then they come up with a gameplay video, and they watch it, and it's just swearing like all the time. So it makes sense. Anyway, I think steering the topic a bit more towards when YouTubers themselves are doing the advertising. So I read about this Xbox One controversy, where basically Microsoft and Machinima paid Machinima partners to talk about the Xbox One on their channels and in various videos. And the thing was about that, they couldn't actually say anything negative if they agreed to it. So they couldn't like say, oh, I don't know, maybe the Xbox needs to work on, I don't know, performance issues. That was completely made up. And they couldn't actually get into like the details of their contracts. So they couldn't tell their subscribers, yeah, I'm getting paid this much to talk about Xbox and not say anything negative about it. Even if they really liked the Xbox One, and a lot of YouTubers were saying that they thought it was a very good system, but now you can't trust what they're saying really because they got paid to say it.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that do that. I mean, who are you going to believe, or who are you going to go out and buy a system? Are you going to go out and buy a system because you heard a bunch of negative things about it? Or are you going to, you've got this other guy who's like happy-go-lucky about it, like, yeah, Xbox One, not sponsored by Microsoft, Xbox One's best game system ever made, go out and get one for yourself. So I can kind of see why they would do that.
Yeah, I think though my issue comes in, I'm fine with that kind of advertising if, one, you can say that it's an advertisement in your video, and B, you can say like one or two negative things about it. Like I get, okay, you want it to be positive, and you're not going to hire someone who doesn't like Xbox if they can say negative things about it, because that doesn't really make sense. But like, they need to be able to say something negative if there's like a legitimate criticism. Otherwise, it's kind of just like silencing any form of criticism, and people like think it's fine and go in and they have no idea like what's about to hit them when they buy an Xbox One and it's maybe got a few bugs or something.
Yeah. Another thing too, when I was reading, was you were saying, oh, they're not allowed to say it's an advertisement. One of YouTube's rules is they have to, either in the description or in the video itself, they have to say this video is brought to you by so-and-so, or something along those lines, or they can actually get flagged for copyright.
Yeah, see, as I understand it, that's quite a recent thing because, I think, let me just go find this. Okay, so basically there was this very large controversy about vloggers talking about Oreos, the biscuits, on like during their videos, and because of,
Biscuits are cookies for those of you who are locked in America.
yeah, because of that like whole thing, the ASA, I believe it's called, which is basically like the Advertising Standards Agency, came out and said that if you are doing a paid promotion on YouTube, you have to have like the word advert or something, synonymous with it. in the video title and in the video thumbnail. So they can't go to the video and miss that it's an advertisement. And I think the issue when before, they could put it in the video description or at the, in the video, they could just put it at the very, very end of the video or at the very bottom of the video description and no one would see it. Sorry, I'm quite ranty today. I've noticed I've been talking and it's been quite aggressive. Sorry.
It has.
I'm passionate, damn it.
If you guys have watched our old Howlpods, like our introduction when we talked about supermarkets in South America or not South
America, really? Wow. Wow.
Wow,
I've never been mistaken for South America before. That's new.
Well, I was thinking of America and South Africa, so I kind of combined them and came up with South America. But
I'm not editing that out. I'm just saying it's not getting edited out.
But anyway, we were talking about supermarkets in America and South Africa, and we forgot to put in it like not sponsored by so and so, and so not saying that we should. Don't go and flag us for this, but like we should have gotten flagged for it because we didn't put we didn't say not sponsored by.
Do you really have to say that?
Yeah, kind of. Well, it's about advertising on YouTube, so.
No,
you can edit that out if you want.
do you really have to say not sponsored by? Isn't it more thing that if you are sponsored by, you have to say sponsored by? Like, and if you don't, it's implied that you're not.
Not necessarily. There have been quite a few YouTubers who have actually gotten in trouble because they didn't say not sponsored by. It was the other way around, and yeah, you have to be very specific with YouTube or ContentID can get you.
Okay, well, let's make it clear. We have not and most likely will not be, at least for a very long time, sponsored by anything, ever.
Any brand names you ever hear in these podcasts or any videos made by either one of us were not sponsored by anybody.
And as always,
parents.
as always, other brands are available.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, moving back to the topic, shall we? Okay, so another interesting controversy is actually quite similar to the Xbox one. And it's actually quite interesting to see, like, that's the kind of thing that people get really annoyed about. But it was about Shadow of Mordor. Have you heard of that?
No, I haven't actually. I don't follow the Lord of the Rings. The only Lord of the Rings games I've played are War in the North and another one I can't think of. I can't think of the name of it, but I've played 2 games. That's about it. And I've seen like 5 minutes of all 3 movies.
Yeah, to be honest, I've seen about 14 minutes of Shadow of Mordor gameplay. And then I stopped because I wanted to get the game myself, but I haven't yet. Anyway, so it's actually a really good game. Nice mashup of like Assassin's Creed and Batman. And basically what happened... Yeah, basically.
Not sponsored by DC.
Yeah, okay. So, basically, reviewers were given early access to Shadow of Mordor, but the thing is, again, they couldn't say anything negative about it in their reviews. So just to make that clear, it's a reviewer who's meant to weigh up the positives and negatives, and they can't say the negatives. So Total Biscuit was the guy who exposed this particular thing, and they weren't allowed to show any bugs. They had to make any videos they made persuasive, and they could, for some reason, I don't even know, they could not mention the Lord of the Rings or the Hobbit books and the films, and the company who was hiring them had final approval with the videos that they made. So they had to send them in 48 hours beforehand, and then the company would approve them, and then they could upload them, which is kind of crazy.
That really is. I mean, you're being paid to review a game that you have no say on how you review it. That is just insane. I can't. That's like saying, okay, so you're gonna take this terrible let's say it's a soft drink. You're gonna take this terrible soft drink that's like 90% carbonation, but you can't spit it out. You can't do anything. You have to drink it and say it's good and get people to buy it.
Yeah. And the thing is
Anything
about
else, and you're being fired.
yeah, you normally like expect that kind of behavior from people who have made a really bad game and they know it. And Shadow of Mordor was such a good game. I have no idea why they'd go that far to like try and make it seem good.
Plus, if you've got a game, people are gonna eventually you're going to stop buying it because they're going to, oh, this if it is a bad game and it's got all these bugs and everything, oh well, they're gonna go off and tell their buddies, oh, this was a terrible game, don't go and buy it, so you're gonna downfall anyway. If you've got reviewers saying, okay, so this is what I didn't like about it, these are the bugs, they can go back through, fix them, and resell it with the better version. And I guess I understand there's always going to be a bug in a game, but that shouldn't be a reason why, oh, you can't say any bugs, you can't say any bad things, you can't do this, that, and everything else to a game that you want reviewed.
Yeah. And I'm sure now we've made enemies of I think it was EA who were behind Shadow of Mordor. I'm sorry, EA, we love you, kind of.
I think, personally, the only games I liked by EA were The Sims and the Harry Potter Lego games that were for, like, Mac and, like, the very first computers.
Yeah. I left The Sims until Sims 4, sadly. Yeah.
I liked this. My first Sims game was Sims Double Deluxe, and I had all these mods for it. And then like the computers generally got worse.
Yeah, Sims 3 is really solid, but it's quite buggy, let's be honest, and it runs quite badly after like you've installed all of the expansion packs. But it is
We've
on the record from what I've seen of Sims 4, I still prefer Sims 3 with all of its bugs and performance issues to Sims 4.
we've made so many enemies of so many game companies.
Yeah, so we have EA, we have Nintendo, we have who else? Who else have we made enemies of? Oh, we have Xbox. Now Xbox hates us. That's good.
Microsoft.
Yeah, Microsoft.
Oh,
And
that's gonna be even better, seeing as how I'm a Minecraft channel now.
Yeah.
now that Microsoft owns Minecraft.
Yeah. They're gonna shut you down. GG. Anyway, back on
The
topic.
NSA all over again.
Back on topic. Okay, we went miles off track there. It's fine. That's what podcasts are for, people.
Yep.
Okay, so now I think one of the big questions on like whether that kind of like a paid promotion is a moral kind of thing to do is if YouTubers like count as game reviewers, like are you going to them to get like their honest opinion on a game, or are they just kind of entertainers who not to take seriously? And like, do they have the same responsibility to tell their viewers if they're getting paid for something?
I think it would be their responsibility. I mean, especially with a lot of the YouTubers I watch. I'm not going to name any names because I don't know if that's allowed. But a lot of the YouTubers I watch, they want to interact with their
Fan
viewers.
base.
That's the word.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want to interact with their viewers and everything. And like, I think one of them I did an advertisement for a movie. Not going to say anything because you'd probably guess who it was. But he did an advert for a movie. So in his other videos, he was allowed to talk about how he worked with so-and-so working with this movie advert. I think it would be beneficial to their viewers if they actually did say that it was an advert, especially if you've been watching this. Like, let's say you're watching, I'm trying to think of a smaller YouTuber. Okay, let's say you've been watching Cinnamon Toast Ken for a really long time. I'm not sure if he's done any adverts, but let's say you've been watching Cinnamon Toast Ken for a long time, and you trust him. He does honest reviews and everything, and then he starts doing adverts for games and movies and everything, and he starts being dishonest, or quote unquote dishonest. And he's not allowed to talk, or he's not allowed to tell his viewers. I think this is how game companies are going to take advantage of this, because if you've got people who are really popular and they've been giving honest reviews, then you've got you can come in with this big hunk of cash in your pocket and say, okay, we'll pay you this much, but you can't do this, this, or this, and you can't say anything bad about the game.
Yeah.
They're gonna get better reviews because they're paying the YouTuber this big hunk of cash to give a good review.
Yeah. I think definitely, like, I don't really class YouTubers who, you know, don't, like, specifically say their reviewers as, like, game reviewers. Like, I don't go to them for a serious opinion. But I do think it's their responsibility to tell the viewers if they're getting paid to do something. So, all in all, I think that advertising and YouTubers, like, and the connection between them is definitely a very subjective issue. And there is a gray area when it comes to, you know, stuff like copyright claiming and advertising. But, you know, you've heard all of our opinions now. Well, I say all, it's just two of us. So that brings the podcast to an end, I think. Thanks for listening. You guys have been awesome. And remember, if you liked the video, just leave a like, a comment, or subscribe. And the next podcast will be on Death Wolf's channel, so you should totally go check that out next week. And I think that's it. So thanks for watching again, and I will see you next week. Bye!
Bye, guys!
You know, I don't even care at this point. Write a male character, then change their gender, give them boobs, and put them in a game. I'm happy with that. I don't care.